First of all, MJ and me want to thank you guys for subscribing to the YouTube channel and following us on Instagram, man. Thank you very much for that. So today we have a new topic, and it's a little bit of a new series because we're doing a little bit of a tutorial kind of thing. So today's topic is all about barber tools. There's a lot of barber tools in at Barber's weapon arsenal, but we're gonna break it down to a little bit of a basic. I will show you what I use in my shop, but we have to start at the basic stuff. What beginners to the trade and new apprentices need to know what they can use to fulfill everything for daily needs. You don't have to use a lot of things, just a couple of basic things so you can start off and make your hours. Because all the bling bling looks nice, but it costs a lot of money. So we wanted to do this video a little bit about what you really need, what's really mandatory for you guys. So I hope you enjoy. We're gonna go into depth right now. So welcome to my weapon arsenal. So this is a lot to see and to show off, but I actually use everything. But for this purpose, I would trim everything down to maybe 3 scissors and 3 machines, so you can hey, this is not a lot, but enough to get to my goals, right, for a haircut. So first of all, we start off with the razor blades. There's 2 types of. So what I use is a feather, and that's only for shaving, clean shaves. Yeah. Then I got a contour shaver. That's for necklines, hairlines, and the contours, and maybe even for lining up for a little bit of the beard. Yeah. For the next thing that I want to show you is my normal scissors, my shears. These are the main scissors that I use. There are 6 of them. I got a lot more, but these are the mainly that I always use. So what you also have to have, my personal opinion, is not thinning scissors, but blending scissors. Thinning scissors is kind of like a cruel kind of thing, I always say, because when you say like thinning and somebody has like a less hair, and you say like thinning, they say, whoa, not thin my hair, because it's already thin enough. There's some couple of techniques what you can use so it doesn't feel like thinning and it doesn't look like thinning. So what I call these blending scissors. It's much more friendlier. I got 5 of them. I'm using them all, and every type has a different purpose of it. So the next thing you also need to have is some trimmers. So I use a detailer and I use a Barber. They both got a different kind of blade. One is softer than the other one. One is sharper than the other one. And of course, last but not least, we go to our clipper works. The clippers itself, it's a lot, but for every clipper it got a different purpose. It got different blades, but we were gonna trim it down, so you only have to have 2. So now you guys know what kind of tools I use. Now we're gonna go to in-depth of what you should have to have in the beginning of your career. Because all these scissors and all these machines, it's a lot. And I think we both think that it's mandatory to use as less as possible to get the best out of it. Learn your tools as good as possible so you don't need to have a lot more. If you know just one for 100, 200%, it's already good. And if you don't need to have a a different level of cutting or a different level of shaving or trimming there, maybe it's time next year or the day of the years after to buy a new machine, you know. Here we are. I get back to you. Why? Because now I trimmed everything down for a starter's kit. Yeah. So this is mainly what I think that people should have for the start of the career, right? Maybe there can be like 1 or 2 scissors come off of it, but I will explain why I have these extra 2 scissors as well. So, first of all, I want to start with a 6.5. I think a 6.5 is good enough to cut every type of hair, every length of hair, and it's also possible to have a lot of room behind the back of the ear or in the neck, so you don't cut off anything of that, right? I also have a little bit bigger, so this is a 7-inch. I mainly use a 7-inch for scissor over comb. I know a lot of people don't know a scissor over comb, but I think for the fundamental things of being a barber, you should also know scissor over comb and not only clipper work. Because if electricity falls off, you can always use a scissor, man. And practically every haircut can be done with just scissors. Only the razor fades is kind of hard, but it's doable. I know some guys, they can cut everything with a scissor, even a razor fade. What somebody needs to have in a weapon arsenal as well, blending scissors. So there's 2 types of. I got one bigger one and one small one. This is like a 6 and this is a 5, or maybe even a 4.5. Main rule is from these types of scissors, the blending scissors, the more teeth they got, the less hair comes out. The less teeth they got, the more hair comes out. Alright? What does a thinning scissor do? So, if this was hair, right, everything is straight. A thinning scissor always has a blade, and you see that there are holes in it, right? What a blending scissor does, if this is 4 hairs, it cuts off the middle, yeah, and you get 1 short, 1 long, 1 short, 1 long. That's the mainly thing what a blending scissor does. And what it does, if you have straight hair and you want to connect it, you know, it kind of looked like really bulky. And just because the small, long, it blends better in together. So this is the kind of thing what a blending scissor does. So if you use it properly, you can have a lot of nice blending scissors. If you overuse it, there comes hole in gaps into the connections of hair, and also it makes a lot of holes. So be prepared, watch out, you know, and always use it with the minimal what you can do, right? So now what we're gonna do is trimmers and the clippers. No. These are pretty important, of course, you know, when you want to do clipper work and fade work. I use 2 types and a trimmer. So I think a trimmer, it's kind of logical. You trim off hair. You can do eyebrows, you can do nose hair with it. You can really tight contours. I also have a different one that's a little bit softer, because I know that some types of skin cannot bear this clipper because it's a little bit too tight. So you always have to figure out, you know, what type of skin people have and what kind of trimmer you're gonna use. But for me, these kind of trimmers, they have really tight contours and tight outlinings. So most of the time I'm kind of used to using a tight trim. So I know in the States you kind of used to have like detachables. So those are clipper braids. You can take them off, and you can have all sorts of measurings of the blades. I'm not using them because those clippers, they kind of like exploding in our voltage of electricity over here. You have some converters, but I'm not using them because I tried to use them, but a couple of times my converter just exploded or burned out, and I went to different clippers. What I use here in Europe, I have like a super taper. Normally I used to have like cord, but now everything is kind of like cordless, and it's way more easy. You don't got cables swirling around and trip over it, and I'm kind of like that kind of guy that trips over everything. So I have like a super taper that takes off a lot of bulk and pretty fast, and I got like a senior from WOW with a fade blade into it. That's more for detail work and clean out your fades way easier and more accurate. Yeah, those are two different type of blades. One is curved and one is flat, and I kind of like those two because one is taking out really much bulk, and already you can sculpture your fade, and the fade blade is also for cleanup and really detailed work. So you guys, I hope to have informed you a little bit of what you can use and what you shouldn't use or don't have to use. Trimmed it down to a little bit of a basic kind of kit, what you can use when you start off with this profession, craft, or trade. And I hope to see you the next time where we go a little bit in depth to how we're gonna use all this stuff. It's gonna be some basic stuff, how you can learn to cut hair, how you use your scissors, and I hope you tune in for the next time. Thank you very much from MJ and me, and thank you for tuning in here into Roots of Barbering YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe and to follow us on Instagram. Hope to see you soon. Peace, love, and happiness.